Western Conference. This is where it's like now we're just getting into like the god tier. Like this is where like almost all the best players in the league are. So my starters in the West, and then we can go one by one here. SGA, Luka, Anthony Edwards, Wemby, and Jokic. What a team.
I had one disagreement.
Okay.
I would put Steph in over Ant.
Steph over Ant. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's table that. Let's start with Jokic, who is leading the NBA in rebounds and assists per game. And he has a 36 PER. Like, that's like when I used to play 2K, and one year I shot 93% with Timofey Mozgov. That's the type of PER number that Jokic has this year. He's shooting 60, 43, 85, and now he's hurt. But since Jalen Pickett is from another galaxy, the Nuggets are 6-3 without Jokic.
I really hope he gets to 65 games.
Yes.
I want him to get all NBA and all that stuff. I know he's going to miss some games. He's so clearly on the list. Clearly the best player in the league. I just can't agree with anyone else. Like, I don't know who else you could even argue. Giannis in his prime, like, if this was 2021 and you would say Giannis off the title, sure, that's some debate, but like,
yeah.
SGA, I'm sorry, he's surrounded by immense amounts of talent and defense.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
Easier job. Luka, I love Luka. If Luka was an extra 5 feet tall, he'd be Jokic, but he's not.
Yeah.
It's really just like a one-man tier at the top.
I agree. I'm ready to get this take off. I'm picking the Nuggets to win the finals. And I know they have the number 25 defense right now. I chalk that up to Aaron Gordon and Christian Brown being hurt for a while. Cam Johnson, too. And I think between Valanciunas being as a backup center now, which has helped out, and then like Peyton Watson right now, we were just talking about Michael Porter Jr. Peyton Watson's pretty much been playing like Michael Porter Jr. when he was in Denver, but even maybe a little bit better lately with Jokic out of the lineup. With him on the bench now, like you go playoff time and you can take maybe Jamal and Jokic out for just a couple minutes and let Peyton Watson run some like second quarter offense. Like they're really deep all of a sudden. And our big problem with them the last couple of years is like they weren't deep at all. And now it's like, hey, Bruce Brown, like, can we get you more than 8 minutes in a playoff game? I'm not even sure if they're going to be able to. So I'm super impressed with Denver. And obviously that starts with Jokic, who's like probably having the best year of his career.
Yeah, I actually think it's not that bad to have a little injury in the middle of the season. Gives you a nice little rest accidentally.
Yeah.
And if Jokic, is ineligible for All NBA, if he misses like too many games, if he misses 17,
we should change.
You might as well just rest him the rest of the season. You know what I mean? You don't have to try to like force him to get a 65 anyways. So I think if they could just go into the playoffs healthy with some momentum, I think they could beat anyone. The Thunder were looking like a juggernaut for a long time, but then to our savior right there, Victor Wembanyama. Yeah. It was like, hey guys, I know how to beat them. Let me do it twice.
3 times.
Or 3 times, right. Yeah. But it was the play-in, which we were like, all right, cool. And then Christmas was like, all right, well, Thunder, they just lost to them.
You keep calling the cup the play-in.
Whatever. The cup. You lose the cup. Oh, no. Yeah, because there's play-in games for the cup, but it wasn't even one of those.
I got
So it was a normal cup, like quarterfinal, whatever.
Yeah.
The Spurs were like, hey, let's do it again. And they beat them again. It was great. They're showing the Thunder we're not going to beat the Warriors like record, win-loss record. So I'm happy with the Spurs. I think the Spurs, if they have a healthy Wemby, would be my pick. I think the Nuggets would be 2.
Really? Okay.
And then I would say the Thunder 3. I don't think the Spurs were built to beat the Thunder, but I'm just saying like the way they match up, I think the Spurs do have like some advantages because the way to beat the Thunder is just to like out-rebound them, beat them with size because they have a lot of these good like guards and forwards.
Yeah.
I think Chet's good, but like he's a very thin man, and Hartenstein is their only like real other good big man.
And he's been hurt.
But he's also like it's not like he's like like prime Andre Drummond. He's just like a good center. And the bad Jalen Williams, I don't think is good at all. So like
no.
That's their big weakness, and I think the Spurs are just like cool. Wemby's bigger than all of you, and none of you could really counter him well.
Yeah, like Wembanyama. If he's 5 years away from his prime, like this is the GOAT. I'm sorry. Like he's averaging 24 points, 11 rebounds, 3 blocks. He's 1 block down from last year and he's still averaging 2.7. Like that's insane. The Spurs, And he had the calf strain, which that is the thing about Wemby is like he's got to stay healthy. But when he's played, they've been great. He's only played 24 games, and the Spurs are still the number 3 defense in the NBA. They'd be the number 1 by far if they've never missed a game.
Yeah, he's on a minutes restriction.
Yeah,
but in the moments that he's on the floor, it is just like absurd. You're like, all right, they're just gonna block every shot and every time he gets the ball is a layup.
I think they need to, as good as like their wing guys have been. Like I don't think Harrison Barnes is bad. I don't think Champagne's bad. It just feels like they're missing like one piece. I don't know if this is the year for them. I would pick Denver and OKC over them. Obviously the Spurs won a lot of games against Thunder. The Thunder actually, I didn't even realize they played again. The Thunder finally won on Tuesday by like 20, so good for them. They finally did. They're 3-1 now against Wemby.
Congrats! They finally got over the mountain.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk too much about the Thunder because it's All-Star Game pod, but like when that team is that good and you could beat them the majority of the games you play against them, that's just absurd. Like,
right.
And I don't think it's like the Brooklyn Nets beating the Heat multiple times in 2013. A very different story. That year, the Nets went 4-0 against the Heat. Then they got swept or whatever. So
that was funny. The Spurs are responsible for 3 of OKC's 7 losses. Con Knippel's responsible for the 4th. The Thunder actually are on a 4-game winning streak, so they're starting to get back together. I don't have much on SGA. He's doing what he's supposed to do. 32 points, 6 assists, two stocks. 134 offensive rating, 108 defensive rating. I mean, he's still the best guard in the league. I don't know what else there is to say. We can talk about the Thunder come playoff time.
Yeah, I honestly don't. I'm not even an SGA fan. I think most people aren't an SGA fan.
I like him.
But like he's not like Luka, where if you like go in the street, you're gonna be like, oh, I love people are like, I love Luka, or they hate him. SGA, I think most people are like, yeah, it's just boring. Like the Thunder made them boring for a while, and also he's like a foul merchant, which people don't like. And I don't think he doesn't have cool dunks or cool deep threes. He's a very, I think, boring player, considering how good he is.
Sure.
If you look at all the other players in like the top 10 of best players,
I like watching SGA.
Imagine if Steph was just as good, but with no 3-pointer. Like it was just like, oh, so he just does a little mid-range pull-up every time.
A better defender than Steph. Like they're totally different players.
No, I know, but like, he doesn't have the really exciting plays that like Luka or Giannis or even Jokic have.
Yeah,
he doesn't do flashy passes or cool threes or dunks or anything. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. No, you're right. I think that's the consensus on him. I just enjoyed his playoff run.
A Tim Duncan-esque type of player.
Yeah, actually, I like that, Chris.
Yes.
SGA is guard Tim Duncan. We've cracked it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about Luka, your guy. What's going on in LA? They're 24-12. They should probably be 12-24. LeBron and Reeves have been out. Luka's carrying them. What are they going to do in the playoffs? I don't know.
Listen, I love Austin Reeves. I love watching the Lakers when they have Luka, Austin Reeves, and LeBron out there. They got to trade Austin Reeves. I'm sorry.
I agree with you. Totally.
They need defense.
It's not Austin Reeves' fault. It's not Austin Reeves' fault.
Yeah, Reeves is doing nothing wrong. But when your team is predicated on scoring and they have zero ability, though, to play defense, that's a problem. Like, I like offensive first basketball, but I don't think you can play offense first basketball, and that means zero defense. Yeah. Luka's not giving you anything on there. LeBron, I don't think is doing much on defense anymore, obviously, but like, and Ayton isn't like a great center defensively. So
it's pathetic that he's their center.
Yeah, it's not like they starter. Yeah, it's not like they have like, I don't want to give him any credit, but it's not like they have Rudy Gobert's defense in the paint. You know what I mean? Like they have no actual strength of defense. Only weaknesses. They're not covering it up. Reeves is their third offensive player, and he doesn't do much on defense. He's a clear trade candidate. He's on a good contract still. You're going to have to pay him, and the Lakers, I don't think, want to pay another guy a ton of money.
Yeah.
However, maybe you think LeBron's done after this year, and you want to keep Reeves because you're going to have Reeves and Luka.
That's true.
What formula do we have of two guards who can't play defense winning a championship? I don't know.
Right, I agree with you. The thing I'm confused about also from like an NBA media landscape right now, I feel like no one's talking about the Lakers as trade people, like as a trade candidate, because they've got it's the Rui 18 million expiring, the Gabe Vincent 11, and Kleber I think is at 8 or 9 million expiring, or maybe even more. They have all this money that's basically just like there for them to make a big trade, and I don't hear a single like NBA insider being like, here's the rumor. out in LA that what the Lakers are going to do. It feels like they're stuck, and I kind of get it because it's like, what center or what front court guy is coming in to save this defense? Like, I don't think that guy's not on the market. These teams want to keep these players. So,
Joe, someone's not listening to Rich Paul.
what did Rich Paul say?
He was saying they need to trade Austin Reeves for Jaren Jackson Jr.
I don't think that was my solution. No, I don't think they need a Jaren Jackson. I think they need someone like a Gafford, like how Luka used to have, or a wing guy, maybe Herb Jones in New Orleans. Like, I don't know. I don't think they need someone who needs the ball. And I think Reeves could get traded. I don't know if I would trade him now. I kind of almost would want to see what happens with LeBron, like you said, because I think when LeBron was out and it was just Reeves and Luka, that was kind of interesting. So, but like you said, defensively, we'll see. The Lakers are frustrating. Also, I don't know, man. Is JJ Redick really a good coach?
I think he's a very good offensive coach. If this was like the NFL, JJ Redick would be the number one offensive coordinator in the NFL.
Yeah, he's like Mike.
Maybe like a Mike McDaniel.
He is like Mike McDaniel.
Yeah,
that's good.
But no, Luka has to be on it. Statistically, he's absurd, and also best player on a good team. That I think without Luka, this Lakers team would be atrocious.
No, absolutely.
Maybe they should trade Austin Reeves for Anthony Davis.
We don't have time for Dallas. I don't know how they're considering trading Davis when they just made that big trade. But okay. Why do you have Curry over Ant? I think Ant's just like, as much as I like Curry, I think Ant's just a better player than him at this point. Just two-way efficiency. He's shooting 41 from three. I don't know. Minnesota's runs through Ant. What would they be without him? Well, you could say the same.
You want to argue what the Warriors would be without Steph Curry?
You're right. You could say the same about Steph, but I just think Ant's a better player because of his defensive and athletic.
That is true. But you're forgetting, Joe. It's the All-Star game. Mm-hmm. Who do you want to see during the All-Star game?
Fair. Okay.
Steph Curry or Anthony Edwards? And you know what?
Both.
Anthony Edwards pissed me off. No. Anthony Edwards should be one of the most exciting players in the All-Star game, and he has given the least effort of everyone. We were told he has the Mamba mentality like Jordan.
I think he brings that.
Oh, you know what, Joe? Bull poop, because he's shooting out here left-handed three-pointers in the game.
I didn't see that.
Not taking it seriously. You remember that in the All-Star game? He shot with his left hand to be funny.
Oh, the All-Star game. Well, I don't care about that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're picking for the All-Star game. If you're not going to take it seriously at all.
Nobody does.
Joe, Steph is at least shooting half-court shots, and it's interesting. Okay? Anthony Edwards is like, oh, I'll do the skills competition, and then only does it with his left hand and ruins the competition. Like, all right, this was a waste of my time.
Yeah.
You're not going to try. When the players all try, it even makes the skills competition good.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know what? It was cool to see Jason Tatum versus Bam Adebayo in the skills challenge, and Tatum hits a half-court shot to win. That's interesting. You know what's not? Anthony Edwards, like, lollygagging with his left hand, laughing the whole time. Do you think Michael Jordan would have done that? No. That's his comparison, but Michael Jordan would have gone out there and be like, I'm going to win the skills competition, and then, punch someone in the face. No, this is ridiculous. Anthony Edwards does not deserve to be a starter because he has taken the All-Star game the least seriously of any of these people on this list. That is part of it. The other part, it's Steph Curry. He's more fun than probably anyone on this list. He's still really good. Could be a starter anyways, but you're going to get the nod when you're very popular and very fun to watch. And if the Edwards could be, if the Ant was doing windmill dunks, sure, but no.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Let's talk about Curry. Golden State's a mess, and he is carrying them. 28 points a game. At the age of 37, he's shooting the second most three-pointers per game of his whole career. That's how much this Warriors offense is desperate and needs him. I think he could be 40 and doing this still, almost at this level with his shooting abilities.
Well, right now I'm blurry. I don't know what happened.
I was just thinking about that.
I'm going to talk while blurry until it maybe sees my face. But anyways, Steph is really good. The Warriors are not. I'm kind of happy that it finally ended this whole time in Golden State, them being good. And now, you know what? It's weird that he's good at 37. But I also will say that, like, LeBron, I just forget how old LeBron is, so it's not, like, totally, like, random, but...
Yeah, I agree. He's still, like, super fun to watch. And they're just... I don't know why they just have no plan for that. If he's going to be this good and they're going to keep him, why do they just have no plan to, like, sustain his prime that's lasted, like, 12 years here? I mean, he got hurt, and they completely nosedived for those, like, 2 weeks when he was hurt, so... I don't know. There's not much they can do.
Their plan was to get Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green. Like, keep Draymond and surround him with Jimmy Butler. I thought that was weird at the time.
Draymond, like, as immature as ever this year. You would think with age he'd be getting better, but he's like losing it. But that's
The
another.
worst part about Draymond Green is that even when I think I'm done with him, he's going to get on TV and he's going to be in my life for another 40 years. It's going to piss me off. I don't want to see
Oh,
him
good
anymore.
point. That's a good point.
He's
Yeah.
going to be stuck in my life yelling at people. I hope he starts fighting people on like the TV crews
He's
because
gonna get in a fight with Kenny Smith. Yeah. But
no, I just listen, I know Draymond's important to them. I think at a certain point you have to, cut your losses and just get someone that could actually fit next to him. When it came to the bench, at first I thought I was only going to have one Houston Rocket, and then I was
really,
like, I need both.
I think they both deserve it.
I do too. I think Şengün is probably their most important one, but I think
Yep.
Kevin Durant's their best player.
Yeah.
So kind of hard to, pick there. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just pick both. I think Kevin Durant is doing the same exact thing for the last like 10 years. It's kind of ridiculous. He's just like, all right, I'm going to go here, play the same way, drop 25 a game,
Yeah.
do a little bit of everything else. And then Şengün is just like, hey, I'm, more of like offensive system player. And
Yeah.
he's their big guy that kind of makes them have that different dynamic and look for most of these other teams.
Absolutely. The way we talked about before we started recording, I think the way Houston's playing has been really interesting. And it's kind of, we were talking about how so many teams have similar identities. It feels like Houston has their own distinct style of play. I love watching them rip the Lakers to shreds on Christmas. That was a really fun game to watch. But I mean, yeah, you mentioned with KD. I mean, he's 52, 40, 89 in 36 minutes a game. He's a hair under 50, 40, 90 at age 37. So just him, LeBron, Curry are just incredible with their longevity. But I agree. I think Şengün is maybe even more deserving of an All-Star berth than Durant. I just watching him run like pick and rolls with Steven Adams is crazy. Just as the point guard, he's basically like kind of like how Danny Wolf was at Michigan, but on like 3 tiers above that, and in the NBA on a really really good team. And just the offensive rebounding from that team is ridiculous. The defense is ridiculous. We'll see in the playoffs. Like, I don't know. Do you think that with Durant replacing Jalen Green, this is a team that can go on a run in the postseason? Like, I think the way Şengün's playing, I mean, he's stacked up against tough competition all year. I don't think he's folded really under any circumstance.
I like this team a lot, and I do think they're one of the few teams that could beat the Thunder because of their size.
Mm-hmm.
Steven Adams was one of my favorite players in like 2016, 2017, watching that Westbrook MVP season. So it's really fun just seeing him being like, I'm the best offensive rebounder in the league. It's kind of weird, but he is. And Şengün's just another really big guy. And this is when having two bigs is worth it. You don't need Steven Adams in the lineup. You're not paying him, a quarter of your salary cap, but he's a very valuable big man for them. And without him, they could do something different offensively. But then they can put him in. The Cavs are like, we need Allen and we need Mobley on the court, and neither one of them are good rebounders. So the Rockets did it right. And I think they're a fun team that they're weird to play, and they play hard and aggressive. I think that's going to be very tough. And in the playoffs, that's very valuable. So I think they could get on a real run. I don't know who to pick in the West because I love Wembanyama. I think Jokic is the best player. The Rockets, I think, are playing the most different from anyone in a way that is good for the playoffs. And I think the Thunder are probably the best team that we've seen in like a very long time. So a lot of weird, greatness in the West.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's going to be a fun Western Conference playoffs. Now, a team that's been kind of crashing the party, like not really. I don't take them that seriously come playoff time, but they were in the Cup tournament. The Phoenix Suns. I got Devin Booker on here. They're 24-16. They're the number 8 defense. It's very weird. We talked about Devin Booker last summer when we did that redraft, and we talked about just like how complete of a player he's become. This year, it's kind of another reinvention. Like, he isn't shooting the ball that well from beyond the arc this year, but it's kind of become like a surround Booker with shooters team and play hard defense. Like, I don't really know where this came from. Jordan Ott coming in as the coach completely reinvented this team, and I've been impressed with their role players, but Devin Booker's still scoring the ball at a very high clip, 25.6 assists. He's their best player. I got him on my All-Star team.
Well, so I think when the Suns went into the year, we thought they were going to be really bad. And it turns out they're not, Joe. They're actually a pretty good team. I'm going to see them on Saturday. I'll let you know what the experience is like.
What is it, Knicks Suns?
Yep.
Oh, that's fun.
So I'm excited for it. Hopefully Brunson plays. I know he had Curtis ankle or something the other day. Booker, though, has carried this team as their best player way above what I ever expected of them this season. I think he just had to make it considering how good the Suns have been.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I agree with that. Hopefully his shooting percentages can go up, but I think he's been good regardless. Give me someone you had on your West bench.
I'm going to go with another non-American. So we already had 4 here or 5. We had SGA, Jokic, Wemby, Luka, and Şengün. That's 5.
Yeah.
So
And then Giannis is 6, right?
Giannis would be 6. So do you want me to give you both of mine?
International people?
Yes.
Sure.
One Canadian, Jamal Murray.
Okay.
And then the other one is Deni Avdija, and I don't know where he's from.
He's from Israel, Chris.
Oh, right. I looked that up. I think Jamal Murray has to be on. He's played great this season. I don't like giving him an all-star because for a long time he would have been like the best player without an all-star. He should make it.
Conley Award.
Yeah, especially with Jokic missing some games here. Murray's really important. A lot of their players have gone out, but Murray's been there the whole year. I think Murray has to be on it. And I think Deni Avdija also has to be on it. So,
well, I agree. I both agree with you and don't, because I had Deni on here originally. I had Murray as my first snub, but then before you even brought it up, I was looking at it and I was like, wait a minute, I think Murray has to be on here.
Yeah.
So now I'm really confused because I have 2 other guys that I also think have to be on here because there's so many good players in the West.
Your team is going to miss Jokic. They're missing a bunch of their guys this year. Jamal Murray had to step up, and on top of that, he's always been their second best player in the playoffs, but then he just kind of seems to not have that same pep in his step during the regular season. This year he does, and I'm hoping he's going to be able to sustain it in the playoffs. Maybe he just finally got everything together the whole year. That's what I'm hoping. I feel like he also has like a lot of injuries and stuff, but he seems healthy this year. I think it's the right formula to finally get this man an all-star game appearance. And I liked the award used to be Mike Conley as the best player to not be an all-star.
Mm-hmm.
Then, unfortunately, because of COVID, 8 people got COVID or something. Then they had to put Mike Conley in the playoff game, which ruined the stat. Just whatever. But
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I agree. I think Jamal definitely. I think the more I look at it, he's got to be there because Denver's second in the West. I think he's got to be there. He's shooting 44% from 3. He's played almost every game, 37 games for him. I'm going to amend my list. He's on there for me. So now I got to figure out who I'm kicking off.
Well, do you know Deni Avdija's 26, 7, and 7?
It's crazy, yes.
That's like LeBron's career stat line Deni Avdija is doing.
Yeah, and he's shooting really effectively, like 47, 35, 80 splits. He's getting to the line 10 times a game, Chris. I don't know where this came from for him. I mean, he was good last year. I thought he was underrated. I put him like 55th on the top 100, but man.
Well, honestly, too, it's not like the Blazers suck. They're 9th. They're 19-22 in a very difficult conference, and he's their best player, I'd say. By the end of his time on the Wizards, it was like, it was not bad. And then when the Blazers got him, it's like, oh, you know what? He's actually, kind of underrated. And each year just been getting better and better. I like him a lot. I feel like he was also one of my locks. I'm really surprised who you have over him. But with Avdija and Murray, that's up to 8 international players, which I didn't even try to do. And then when I counted it, I was like, oh, it works out.
Yeah, now that I have Murray, I actually got to 8, including Franz, which I didn't want to do. But so I was still having trouble, but we got there now. That's good. Yeah, I think Denny's been great. One thing I wanted to note, he's not a free agent until 2028. And before then, his contract actually goes down in value. Like he's making $14 million this year. He's going to make $11 million in 2 years. So incredible find for Joe Cronin in Portland. It's hard. I haven't gotten to watch a lot of Blazers, but I've watched Denny in previous seasons. The groundwork for what his stats look like right now has always kind of been there in his game. He's always been the shifty forward who can kind of play make, but like to see him doing it at the volume he is doing it is really, really crazy. Last 2 All-Stars. Chris, I think Kawhi has to be on this list.
I have Kawhi as well. 28
a game, 2.2 steals is his most per game since 2015. He's shooting 49.7%, 39.9%, and 94 at the line. So he's almost at 50-40-90. The Clippers are 2-8 when he doesn't play. They're a 500 team with him. They had an awful start to the season, but since New Year's, 6-2. I think it was either the owner or the GM said like our goal is to go like 30-20 from this point forward, and everyone's like, you guys suck, and they're kind of on pace to do it. Kawhi is playing the best ball of his like Clippers career, I think, besides maybe a playoff run or 2. But in terms of regular season, we haven't seen this from him in a very long time.
This is probably like the best he's looked since the Raptors. I'll also say I didn't want to put him on because the Clippers were so bad for so long, but I think he deserves to make the All-Star list. I'm surprised. Well, I'm curious as to who you have over Denny Avdia, but yeah, I think Kawhi has to make it because he is also Kawhi Leonard. It's not fair, but if you are like great for like 10 years,
Yeah,
you're going to be a guy that we just naturally vote for more than, a guy in his first year being really good.
yeah, no, I agree. I'm just interested to see if the Clippers keep winning because that could really throw a wrench in the West.
I liked their
Play-in.
roster. They were amazing last year going into
Yeah,
the playoffs. There were a lot of people's like surprise pick to like win the West, and they lost in the first round barely to the Nuggets, and now they've
right.
fallen apart in the start of the year.
Yeah, but yeah, Kawhi's been fantastic as of late. Chris, my last guy, I at this point I've amended my list, so we're pretty much done. I did have Denny on there. I originally had Murray off. I said not Denny, but I've changed my mind. I went defense over offense. I've changed my mind. I'm putting Murray. Like I truly believe it should be Murray, not Chet Holmgren. But I did have Chet Holmgren.
So you had Chet over Denny Avdia
no
on my
over
list?
Jamal Murray. I had Denny from the start.
Oh, you did have Denny.
I
Okay.
had Jamal off, but then I realized
Okay.
as we were recording, I was like, wait a minute, I shouldn't have Jamal off. Yeah, Chet's just their defensive anchor, and Hartenstein's missed some time. So I wanted to give him a shout, but I think it's just tough for me to have only one Thunder guy, but like the Nuggets are just right under them. Murray's a better player than Chet, so at this point, I'll switch it up.
I did not even consider Chet,
I think
honestly.
he's the first guy off, to me.
I put LeBron. I wanted to put LeBron on.
Well, yeah, that's the other one. Yeah,
I was like, listen, it's the All-Star game. LeBron deserves to be there. He's the biggest star of stars.
yeah,
I don't want to knock someone off to put him on as a problem.
exactly.
Do you remember how we did like the year with Dirk and Dwayne Wade were just like in the All-Star game because it was like their last year?
Yeah, I think
We
they
should
were
have
like
done that for
extra
LeBron.
spots, but yeah.
If what I would do is I would vote my starters. If I was just voting as a fan, which I don't even vote because I don't really care enough, but I put LeBron as the starting lineup. I'm taking out SGA because I know SGA will make the bench.
SGA out?
Yeah,
take SGA out the starting lineup.
he's out.
No.
This is just based on vibes, just based on who I would actually want to see in the All-Star game.
Well, LeBron will probably make the All-Star team because Jokic is hurt. Like he'll probably get that spot.
Yeah, I think if one guy's out, I'd put LeBron over Chet. I would also say put LeBron in the starting lineup, and then he's not going to play in it because he's going to be healing an injury. Then you just get everyone in. It's the ultimate cheat code. There's always like 15 All-Stars from each conference instead of 12.
Yeah. No, you're right.
But do you want to recap our list here?
Yeah, we could try to. Eastern Conference All-Stars, I had starters Maxey, Cade, Brunson, Jaylen Brown, and Giannis. And then you had the same. My bench was Jalen Johnson, Scotty Barnes, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Duren, Con Knipple, and then Franz Wagner due to international rules. But then
you don't need Franz though.
Do I not? Did I miscount?
You don't because of with Denny and Jamal.
I put Murray back on. I put Murray on. You're right. Okay, then Franz is out, Mikal Bridges is in, and then I'm sticking to my guns with Brandon Ingram as 12.
Over Norman Powell.
Yes.
That's terrible.
The Raptors are better than the Heat.
But you gave the Raptors two people.
I don't care. I think Brandon Ingram's better.
I just think it's disrespectful to put Brandon Ingram on an All-Star team ever. All right. My same starters. My bench was Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, Donovan Mitchell.
Many Jalen's.
Yeah, too many Jalen's. I have three Jalen's listed in a row. So it's Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Johnson, Jalen Duren,
yeah,
and then Scotty Barnes, Karl Anthony Towns, Michael Porter Jr., and Norman Powell.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to put Cat. He's there. I would take off Cat and maybe put in
Con.
Maybe Con, but I honestly think you need two Knicks.
All right, that's fair. Well, that's why I put Bridges. But okay, yeah.
I think you need Cat over Bridges.
All right. And then Western Conference starters for me: Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka, Anthony Edwards, Wemby, Jokic. And then who do you have as your starters?
SGA, Luka, both the same. I had Curry instead of Ant, and then I had Wemby and Jokic as well.
Yep. And then my bench: Curry, Alperen Şengün, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Denny Avdia, Kawhi Leonard, Jamal Murray.
I think we had the same. I think we had the same 12.
Yeah, I think we had the same guy.
So instead of Curry on the bench, I had Ant on the bench with KD, Kawhi, Şengün, Jamal, Denny, and Devin Booker. LeBron as an honorary member.
Absolutely. Western Conference snubs are crazy. I mean, you got Julius Randle, Amen Thompson, all the San Antonio guards, Dylan Brooks, Laurie Markkinen, Cooper Flag. It's crazy. Trey Murphy. A lot of Western snubs.
Are you curious as to Bill's list?
I'm gonna listen to it later, of course.
Okay.
I won't skip out on it. Don't spoil it for me. Okay. Is there anything like he had that we didn't?
All right, there's one player in the West I know. Well, in the West, because of the games, he had Wemby on the. I don't think he had Wemby starting.
Oh my god! Come on.
Or maybe he did. I forget. But I think he had Ant starting, but I think he also had. I don't know. I know that he had Julius Randle in.
Okay. I mean, he was my second snub, but
yeah. And then in the East, I think I might have had the same as. I don't know if he did Cat, but I think the East probably had like a lock of 10. Everyone that I listened to had Michael Porter Jr. So I was like, all right, that's what the stats say.
On that. I'm gonna stand my ground.
If this was a Cam Thomas situation, I'm with you.
Michael Porter,
I think it's a little bit better than Cam Thomas.
Let's do a dueling podcast, and then maybe I'll put you on my All-Star team. Let's talk about. Never mind. I'm not gonna say.
I've never heard of Brandon Ingram being on the All-Star. So that one really surprised me.
I'm a free thinker, Chris. I'm not a sheep like you.
Joe, my gut. Listen, my free thinking rule number 1 is just never put Brandon Ingram on the All-Star list. I hate him.
I think he's had a nice year. All right. Well, we'll see what happens when the voting and the results of the All-Star teams come out, but that's going to do it for Trust the Podcast All-Star Picks. Chris, thank you so much for joining me. I was very excited to talk some basketball on the pod again, so thank you.
Well, thank you. Basketball is tough. I love talking. Before the podcast, we just talked about the state of basketball, but it's hard to keep up with basketball as much as NFL because it's one sitting. You just get to watch every team, whereas NBA, it's just sort of a flow and you can't really keep up with all of them. But this is the time to regather, look at the NBA, see the biggest storylines, top players. So it was a lot of fun for me. I really just wish that we can just do some realignment of some sort. This is getting really annoying, especially doing this list. Also, if we're not doing an East versus West team, why are we voting 12 East, 12 West?
Yeah, I don't know.
Initially, I was like, all right, well, you don't want only West players. Then I'm like, no one even watches the All-Star game anyways. It should just be the 12 best players if we're not doing the 12 best teams. Yeah. The only real, thing I'd argue against myself is the playoffs are still East versus West. But I'm sorry, but
if they ever get rid of that, I love the NBA, but if they ever were to get rid of that, I'd crash out. I would hate it.
I think they need to keep the East versus West, but then I'm like, they just do that for the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Well,
especially now, no positions. There's just there's no, I don't know.
We live in dark times, but that's all right. We still made our All-Star picks.
Everyone agrees that it's wrong except Adam Silver. I think in terms of unanimous fans' opinions, the NBA's All-Star weekend is just, went from a lot of fun to the least fun.